I adore fun magic just like this. This is Persona by David Jonathan. Welcome back to a brand new review on the Magic Alon channel. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Alon. I'm a magician, mentalist, and a community owner. I have an incredible magic community. All the information down below in the description. But other than that, today you're tuned in to watch another review. Every Tuesday I put out a review, and sometimes even on Thursdays. And today I'm reviewing this incredible effect, Persona by David Jonathan. And literally, this is one of the most fun tricks you could do. Now, David Jonathan has seemed to be one of the most incredible creators, especially when he works with Nicholas Mavresi's, although this is just a David Jonathan release. He creates some of the most fun, commercial, and truly practical and working magic there is. I own so many of his effects. He's even lectured for my free community. Join in the description below. And he genuinely thinks in another way that I don't see other creators do. And Persona is just like all his magic. It's fun, relatable, and very exciting to perform. You as a performer enjoy performing, and your audience has a good time. So I'm super excited to give you all the information you need on this incredible trick. Without further ado, I think we should just dive deep into what on earth is Persona. Well, as you can see, Persona kind of has the word personality test in it, which is exactly what it is. This is inspired by Profile, as he says in the tutorial himself, which he worked with Nicholas Mavresi's, the legend himself. And you obviously have contributions by the most incredible person at making any marked deck project, which is Phil Smith. Together with him, you receive this incredible wallet inside, and this wallet itself is phenomenal. Look at the quality, it's so incredible. I think it's made out of leather. This alone is worth the price because you can carry other tricks in here too. And essentially in this wallet, you get 2 sets of cards, which is the same effect, but 2 different presentations that you can go for, which I've not seen as commonly done when you buy a magic trick. Essentially, it's a personality test where you ask your spectators to name any questions, or sorry, any answers to 5 or 4 or 3 questions that you ask them. And these questions are totally customizable. They can be anything. It could be personal questions to them, generic questions, it doesn't matter. But essentially, you have these cards, right, which can be a little bit shuffled like this, and then they name an answer. Let's say, do you like apples or oranges? Apples. A, P, P, L, E, and S. And then let's say you do 3 more questions, and now you say, okay, now we're coming to the last question. And by the way, ahead of time, you tell them the number of questions you're gonna do, so there's no sneaky stuff going on. Now let's say you come to the last question and you say, okay, do you wanna go, if you were to go on holiday, would you go to Bahamas or Las Vegas? Let's say they say Bahamas. So let's say B-A-H-A-M-A and S. Okay, which is this card. So actually, this is the card. So let's say they did that freely. They could have answered anything for 5 questions. The order of the cards can be different. They could have ended up on any personality card, and their personality is awesome, which is super incredible. And the coolest part is, they could have been lazy, rude, greedy, and actually all the rest are super not nice personality types you can have. So they chose the awesome one, and it just makes them feel good. It makes it feel really impossible that they made all the decisions, yet they were destined to be awesome. And the cool part is you get another set of cards, which they call the asshole presentation, which is all really nice personalities, right? But then you have the asshole. So that could be nice to someone who's a heckler, and they go through the types of people you can perform this to. Obviously that doesn't work in every situation, but in a good situation, the right one, this is incredible. So yeah, you get a lot of stuff, and it's quite exciting. So let's talk about the tutorial you get. I love David Jonathan's tutorials. They're usually very concise, direct, and specific, and obviously it's shot in David's incredible studio where he shoots most of his tutorials. It's about a 50-minute video, and it starts off with some incredible live performances, as you can see on my screen right now, a few of them by JS Magic, an incredible performer who does so many amazing tutorials and performances, I think in New York. So he's an incredible guy. Make sure you check him out too, by the way. And then of course you get an intro starting in with some crediting to this effect, to people like Evoke by Craig Petty and some other tricks by Alakazam. And then you get a little bit of talk about the props themselves, the cards, the wallet. You get an idea of the method overview overall, because the method in itself is incredibly easy to do. You can learn it in literally 10 seconds. You could explain the method to you. Then David teaches you the main routine and a bunch of different presentations you can go for, but in general the routine in itself is one big central normal routine. but again, you could go down different routes because the questions you ask are completely customizable and completely up to you. He even recommends that you know your free 4 or 5 questions ahead of time, but you can come up with them on the spot even if you want to. Then obviously he teaches you the nice routine he starts with, but then he also talks about the asshole routine, just briefly, like the context and presentations and when you would perform it. Then he gives you some incredible nice bonus ideas and subtleties. For example, why and how you should handle the cards in different presentations. He also tells you like how to decide the number of questions you may want to do, and so many other more tips and ideas. And then he finishes with his final thoughts on the trick. Nothing really crazy. The tutorial is direct, 15 minutes, you get everything you need, all the presentations, all the handlings, although there's really one main handling. But all in all, very good tutorial as always with David Jonathan. Is this example? Now, yes, it is marked as we said, and they say that, and the marking is very hidden. So they can examine these cards. They can actually do the dealing and count if they want to, although David recommends that he does it for a specific reason. But again, theoretically, they can do this stuff, but it's very fair and open, so you should totally be able to do it. But if they want to examine the cards, yes, they're just normally printed cards, absolutely nothing to find. You present it as these personality cards you got, but the marking is very hidden. So, and he says it's been really road tested and it's very unlikely anybody will see. It's designed by Phil Smith, it's incredible. And I don't think with this type of trick, they would even assume it's marked because you're not reading it really. The marking is used for a really interesting application, which isn't the usual way to use markings on playing cards. So it's very unlikely they would even expect or assume that there's a marking system involved. And let's say they drop the cards and something happens, let's say, because maybe that might be pivotal. Well, it's really easy to reset and fix it on the spot. It might even take you 10-15 seconds just due to the markings of the cards. So they kind of tell you how to fix it up, and it's pretty cool. So let's talk about the positives. I absolutely love this because this is such a fun trick. It really gives off that David Jonathan vibe that you get from all his tricks. The method is incredibly clever, which is also really nice. But as I said, it's fun, it's reliable, you can ask people questions, so it makes it very personal to them, which makes them connect to the effect. And then at the end, you get to call someone awesome or an asshole, which is super cool. You make someone feel good after the effect, which is not always the case with most magic tricks. And as I said, another positive is the fact you get 2 versions. Let's say you have a lot of hecklers, you are a different type of performer, let's say. The asshole version might suit you, but if not, then the awesome version will suit you, the kind version. So honestly, you get 2 options, and it's really nice that Vanishing Ink and David Jonathan are providing you with that. So thank you, Vanishing Ink, for doing that. The effect itself is very easy to do. The method is easy, everything's simple to do. You just follow it, you learn it really quickly, and you can go straight away to perform it. Obviously, I recommend you practice the presentation, but the presentation in itself is just asking someone questions. So, and presenting how you reveal these cards. So it's really simple to do in that case. Even the presentation is easy to do. It's really fun for you to perform and for them. All in all, that's great. And the cards help you a lot, you know, with the method, which is really good. So the markings really are #1 priority. And here's the coolest part, which I can't believe they did. Again, super cool. If you do have poor eyesight with the markings, which can happen because the markings are well hidden, then they even provide you with this incredible card here, which I cannot show you the other side, but it's a crib, which is so incredible because it's presented as like the instructions to the personality test. But on the other side, you have a crib, and it's a very clever crib. So if you do have poor eyesight, you have that as an option too. So David really designed it to work for absolutely anyone, whether you have good or bad eyesight. Let's talk about some negatives. Not many negatives at all. This is a really direct trick, but in terms of like impossibility and foolingness, this isn't the most impossible trick. Maybe Profile by David is actually more impossible and more direct. But if you want a fun effect, a really fun routine, then this is it. So it's not really designed to fool and destroy someone like you want to show them hardcore magic. This is something you do to show someone something pretty cool, something really fun, and make someone feel good about themselves. So not really a negative, but just so you know about that. But the main disadvantage of this is kind of the markings themselves. As I said, they're very well hidden, but they might be a little bit tricky to read. And also, it would be nice because you're handling cards like this, if the markings were this way. I do think I know why they're this way, not this way. That's because of kind of, you have longer markings, let's say, so it's harder to fit on, maybe, I don't know, but I understand it is this way, so it makes it a little bit more confusing. But they do go over in the tutorial kind of why it is that way and how you read it. And in fact, David actually says how through practice you get way better, and eventually you just need a quick glance on the marking and you kind of memorize automatically. As you perform, the more you perform, the quicker and easier it will get. So that's not a worry at all, but something again I thought I should mention. So lastly, is this worth it? How much is it valued? It's valued at $25. You should get it on Vanishing Ink right now. Vanishing Ink is absolutely amazing. You should check it out there, or it's for £20. And yes, it's definitely, especially for that price, First of all, you're getting this wallet, which, as I said, all in all is already like worth the money. And then you're getting 2 sets of cards, even more worth the money. And then the effect itself is just fun, practical, direct. It's something that you just do to someone for fun, casually. It's not something you might do in a serious performing gig, but if you have friends over, family over, this is perfect for that situation. That doesn't mean you can't do it in a professional gig. You can, you just have to be aware of your environment, like with any magic trick. And then you have an incredible tutorial. So again, all in all, yes, definitely worth it. You should get it on Vanishing Ink straight away. It's really cool. I highly advise you get it. And with that, thank you so much for checking out this review. I absolutely love it. You should check out Persona by David Jonathan and get yours at Vanishing Ink. Thank you, Vanishing Ink, for sending me one of these. This is incredible. And you guys, I hope, have an incredible rest of your time. I'm excited for you guys to see more reviews coming out very, very soon. We have our podcast that comes out every 2 weeks, the Beyond the Magic podcast. We just had an episode of the legend himself, Ben Seidman. You should check that out right here. It was phenomenal. And I will see you in the next review. It does help me so much if you leave a like and a comment down below. It means a lot. And make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're so close to hitting 2,000 subscribers. So I'm super excited. We might even do a fun giveaway. So make sure you do that. It helps me a lot. And I will see you in the next review. Magic Alon out.